At least 15 police officers and 4 civilians have been killed and several others injured after gunmen launched a deadly attack in Russia's Dagestan region. The attackers targeted multiple Orthodox churches and a synagogue. A priest and a security guard were among those killed. The simultaneous attacks took place in the cities of Derbent and Makhachkala. At least 4 people were killed in drone and missile attacks in Crimea that Russian officials have blamed on Ukraine. Russian authorities say that the attacks also wounded over 100 people. The missiles were shot down in Sevastopol, a port city in the Russia-annexed Crimea. The falling debris from the missiles resulted in the casualties. Russia has blamed the United States for the Ukrainian missile attack on Crimea. The Russian Defense Ministry said that both Kyiv and Washington were responsible for the strike. Moscow alleges that 4 of the missiles used in the attack were supplied to Ukraine by the US. Russia's investigative committee has opened a case into the strike. It's calling the strike on Crimea a terrorist attack. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that intense fighting in the Gaza Strip is nearing its end. However, he clarified that the war against Hamas would not end until the group relinquishes control of the Palestinian enclave. Netanyahu also said that once the intense fighting is over, he would deploy forces to the Lebanon border where tensions with Hezbollah have risen. Israel's defense chief Yoav Gallant has reached the US to hold high-level talks on the Gaza war. Gallant is also expected to discuss escalating tensions between Israel and the Iran-backed Hezbollah. Yesterday, he said, and I quote, "Israel is ready for any action on all fronts." Gallant is set to meet his American counterpart, Lloyd Austin, and US Secretary of State Antony Blinken during the visit. A dramatic video has emerged from Jenin in the occupied West Bank, where Israeli forces tied up a wounded Palestinian man to a jeep during a raid. The wounded man was seen lying on the hood of the vehicle as it was driven around Jenin. The Israeli army has admitted that its soldiers violated operational procedures. The military said that the man was injured during what they called a counter-terrorism operation. The Yemen-based Houthi group has claimed responsibility for attacks on 2 more ships in the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. The first attack was on the Trans-World Navigator vessel in the Red Sea using an uncrewed surface boat. The second vessel, the Stolt Sequoia, was attacked in the Indian Ocean with a number of cruise missiles. In India, the 18th parliamentary session began today in the lower house or Lok Sabha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi took oath as the Member of Parliament from the Varanasi constituency. About 280 newly elected politicians are taking oath today. The rest of the MPs will take oath tomorrow. Gunmen in Nigeria attacked a rural community in the northern state of Katsina. Police officials say that at least 7 people were killed and 100 others were kidnapped. Locals say that the gunmen arrived in Maitabiro village on motorbikes and raided and looted shops in the area. They also allegedly destroyed property and stole livestock. In Sao Paulo, hundreds of Brazilian women staged a protest against a bill that seeks to criminalize abortion. Protesters demanded that the bill be dismissed from Brazil's Congress. The bill classifies abortions after 22 weeks of pregnancy as homicide. It also aims to impose prison sentences ranging from 6 to 20 years. Authorities in Greece have arrested 13 people for allegedly starting a forest fire. The accused were on a luxury yacht. They allegedly set off fireworks from the vessel that started a major forest fire on the island of Hydra. The fire burnt large swathes of the island's only pine forest. In climate news, the death toll from the Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia has risen further. The latest reports say that over 1,300 people have died during the pilgrimage amid intense heat. Temperatures in Mecca have soared to as high as 51.8 degrees Celsius. A yellow heat alert has been issued for most parts of England. The British Meteorological Office says that temperatures could go as high as 31 degrees Celsius. The alert also warned that there could be increased pressure on healthcare services due to the heat wave conditions. Heat warnings have also been issued in the United States. Multiple cities along the U.S. East Coast are under heat alerts amid a fear of record-breaking temperatures. The U.S. National Weather Service has said that extreme heat will move to the states of Nebraska and Kansas. Philadelphia has been warned about hazardous conditions, with humidity raising temperatures to over 41 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, parts of the U.S. Midwest are battling floods. In South Dakota, authorities declared an emergency after some areas were inundated due to heavy downpours. Several highways were also closed amidst the fear of more severe rain. Heavy rains have triggered floods and landslides in southwestern Switzerland. The Swiss Federal Office of Meteorology has said a flood risk looms over the region. Police have urged people not to travel as roads have been temporarily blocked due to the rains. Swiss Army personnel have also been deployed for evacuations and to search for missing people. So far, they have found the dead body of one of the 3 people reported missing. 8 people have died due to a landslide in a mountainous region in central China. Heavy rains caused a deadly landslide in a village in the Hunan province. Chinese meteorological authorities have also issued red alerts for torrential rain in the Hubei and Anhui provinces. Devastating flash floods have hit Mogadishu, the capital city of Somalia. Residents say that the sudden deluge has caused significant damage to houses and other infrastructure. The floodwater reportedly rose to knee-high levels in some areas. The Indian Meteorological Department has warned of heavy rainfall across the states of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Goa. Meanwhile, heatwave conditions are expected to persist for 2 more days in India's north, in the states of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab. The Indian Weather Department says that the intensity of the heatwave is likely to decline after 48 hours. In India's northeastern state of Arunachal Pradesh, parts of Itanagar faced landslides after a cloudburst. Floodwaters have caused severe damage to houses and vehicles. Residents have been warned to stay vigilant amid the bad weather conditions. On to business and tech news. Top officials from China and the European Union have started talks. This is regarding the EU's plan to impose additional import tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. The move comes amid the visit of German Economy Minister Robert Habeck to China. Earlier this month, the EU said that it plans to impose up to 38% in additional tariffs on Chinese EVs. The EU alleged that Chinese EV makers benefited from unfair state subsidies. There could be more trouble brewing for plane maker Boeing, according to reports. The US prosecutors have recommended that the Justice Department bring criminal charges against Boeing. Last month, Boeing was accused of violating a settlement deal with the Justice Department. The settlement was in connection with 2 fatal crashes of Boeing 737 MAX jets in 2018 and 2019. Under the deal, the US Justice Department agreed not to prosecute Boeing as long as the plane maker changed its compliance practices. American delivery firm United Parcel Services has agreed to sell its Coyote Logistics business unit. Coyote is a Chicago-based logistics service provider. It is being sold to transportation management firm RXO for over $1 billion. United Parcel Service says that the sale of Coyote Logistics will allow it to focus more on its core business. Australia is set to implement a new code for large supermarket chains in the country. Supermarkets could be fined up to 10% of their revenue if they breach the code. The code mainly focuses on how supermarkets deal with farmers and other good suppliers. Earlier, a government report found that existing rules did not address the imbalance of bargaining power between supermarkets and their suppliers. JP Morgan India's bank CEO Prabdev Singh has stepped down. Singh resigned before the end of his 3-year term. JP Morgan has announced that Pranav Chawda is the new head of the India corporate banking for the firm. Chawda currently leads JP Morgan India's commercial banking. Meanwhile, American chipmaker Nvidia has signed a deal with Qatar's telecom firm Ooredoo. The agreement marks Nvidia's first large-scale product deployment in West Asia. Under the deal, Nvidia will provide its graphics processors for Ooredoo's data centers. Ooredoo operates data centers in Qatar, Algeria, Tunisia, and the Maldives, among other countries. TikTok's parent firm ByteDance is reportedly working to develop an advanced chip that can power artificial intelligence. To develop the chip, ByteDance is collaborating with American chip designer Broadcom. According to reports, the chip will be designed to avoid U.S. restrictions. The U.S. restricts chip makers from exporting advanced technology to China. Social media giant Meta is reportedly in talks with Apple to discuss the possibility of adding its artificial intelligence model to Apple devices. While Apple has partnered with OpenAI to power its AI system, the iPhone maker is reportedly looking to collaborate with other AI firms in other regions where OpenAI's ChatGPT is banned or is under restrictions. Meanwhile, Meta is also starting to roll out its AI chatbot in India. Meta AI will be available across its social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. The firm started testing the chatbot in India for a select group of users in April. So far, Meta AI has been launched in more than a dozen countries, including the United States, Australia, and Canada. Ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino has reportedly fired one of the firm's top executives, Joe Benarock. Benarock was considered a close associate of Yaccarino and was the head of business operations and communications at Xcorp. According to reports, Benarock was fired amid pressure from the owner of X, Elon Musk. Musk has been pressuring the social media platform CEO to increase sales and reduce costs. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. South Africa beat the West Indies by 3 wickets in the Super 8 stage of the ongoing T20 World Cup. The West Indies put to bat first and amassed 135 runs in their 20 overs. Rain briefly stopped the match in the second innings. South Africa then successfully chased down a revised target of 123. With the win, the Proteas have now entered the T20 World Cup semi-finals. Afghanistan clinched a historic 21-run win over Australia in their T20 World Cup Super 8 clash. The Afghans went into bat first and posted 148 for 6 in the first innings. Australia stumbled with the bat and were restricted to 127. Gulbuddin Naib starred with the ball for the Afghans. He took 4 wickets while giving away just 20 runs. In football, Germany and Switzerland settled for a 1-1 draw in their UEFA Euro 2024 group stage match. Swiss forward Dan Ndoye scored the opener in the first half. Niklas Füllkrug netted a late equalizer for the Germans. The result meant that Switzerland finished second in their group and qualified for the last 16. 15-time champions Uruguay beat Panama 3-1 in a Copa America group stage match. Uruguay drew first blood via Maximiliano Araujo in the 16th minute. Darwin Núñez doubled their lead late in the second half. When Matias Vina scored a header for Uruguay, the result was beyond any doubt. Panama's only scorer was Michael Amir Murillo. The U.S. launched their Copa America campaign on a victorious note. They secured a clinical 2-0 group match win over Bolivia. U.S. captain Christian Pulisic pulled off an early goal to give his team the lead. Then striker Folarin Balogun doubled the score just before half-time. In tennis, men's world number 1 Jannik Sinner of Italy has won the Halle Open. The Italian defeated Poland's Hubert Hurkacz 7-6, 7-6 in the final to lift the ATP 500 trophy. This is Sinner's first grass-court title. After winning it, the 22-year-old said that he is more confident about Wimbledon, which starts next week. American tennis player Jessica Pegula has won the Berlin Open. The women's world number 5 downed Russia's Anna Kalinskaya in the final. Pegula lost the first set 6-7, but then staged a comeback to secure the next 2 sets 6-4, 7-6. India's Sumit Nagal has qualified for the Paris Olympics. The 26-year-old made this announcement on his social media. He will be taking part in the men's singles event. This will mark Nagal's second appearance at the Olympics. In Formula One, Red Bull's 3-time world champion Max Verstappen has won the Spanish Grand Prix. He faced cutthroat competition from McLaren's Lando Norris. Despite Norris's relentless efforts, Verstappen was able to hold off his rival. Mercedes's Lewis Hamilton came third in the race. In athletics, Noah Lyles won the US 100-meter trials to secure his ticket to the upcoming Paris Olympics. He recorded a personal best time of 9.83 seconds. The world champion had missed out on the 100-meter event at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. In entertainment news, pop star Taylor Swift surprised her fans by performing with Travis Kelce on stage during her Eras tour. Kelce joined Swift during her weekend concert in London's Wembley Stadium. Kelce appeared on stage in a tuxedo and picked Swift up for an outfit change. Singer Justin Timberlake broke his silence about his recent arrest in New York. Performing in Chicago, Timberlake said that he had been through ups and downs and lefts and rights in the past week and thanked his fans for their support. On June 21st, the 41-year-old was arrested over suspicion of driving under the influence after he ran a stop sign and failed to stay on the right side of the road. Indonesian band Voice of Bassprot will perform at the Glastonbury Festival in England. The all-female rock trio will be the first Indonesian group to take the prestigious stage. Voice of Bassprot have previously performed in the United States and France. The Glastonbury Festival will commence on the 26th of June. Pixar's Inside Out 2 earned a whopping $100 million in North America in the second week of its release. The film so far has grossed $335 million in North America and $724 million globally. The film has surpassed Dune Part 2, that earned $711 million globally. Barbie superstar Margot Robbie says that selling gin is easier than selling a movie. Margot Robbie recently launched her own gin brand called Pepper Salt. She says while selling gin feels straightforward and predictable, selling a film is difficult because it is something intangible. Actor Sean Penn has quashed all accusations of him physically abusing Madonna. In an interview, he said that he never hit Madonna with a baseball bat. The allegations were reported when Madonna filed for divorce from Penn in 1989. Sean Penn also added that Madonna is someone he loves. Penn and Madonna were married from 1985 to 1989. Bridgerton star Simone Ashley has spoken out against trolls body-shaming her co-star Nicola Coughlan. Ashley said in a press conference that haters are always going to hate, and Coughlan is not allowing them to bother her. She added that she believes that Nicola Coughlan and so does the world. Elon Musk's former wife, Tulala Riley, has tied the knot with Love Actually star Thomas Brody Sangster. They exchanged their vows in a romantic country wedding in England. The newly wedded couple announced their engagement in July 2023. Comedian Jerry Seinfeld's Melbourne show was disrupted by pro-Palestine protesters. Just before the end of the show, the protesters started chanting "Free Palestine." However, the 70-year-old artist responded to the chanting by making jokes. The red carpet for the third annual Vogue World event was rolled out in Paris. The show saw the attendance of celebrities like Jared Leto, Anna Wintour and Eva Longoria. The event showcased France's fashion evolution in the last century and how it is related to sports like cycling, gymnastics and fencing.
It's over! He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.